Hi, this is Mary, and I'm coming to you from Charlotte So Natural today. Missing you all. We want you to interact as much as you can as you watch this video. And this is always on the second Saturday, and we're just running a little late, usually at 10 o'clock in the morning, but we have already been running our legs like crazy this morning, answering the phone and filling orders. So on the second Thursday of each month at 10 a.m., I do a sewers club, and we have a wonderful group of ladies, and I always have to joke. They come to talk to each other and to see what I brought them to eat. And today I left it at home. I really did make you something to eat. But anyway, we'll get there later. So every year on May, we have dues of $36. But if you can't make it every month, then there's just a charge of $5 a month. And otherwise, $36 gives you the pass to come to every class for a whole year. So last month, as I have thinking about what I was going to
roll call
do, Kirsten says people are not chiming in. You're supposed to chime in, and I'm not very good at Facebook either, so I'm not exactly sure how you chime in. Is that how you chime in?
Well, you can. There's a comment link on the bottom, and you can just say, I'm here, and it will tell me your name.
Oh.
And whatever you
Awesome.
Type. So if you have questions, you can type them down there too.
Okay. Good. Well, we already had several of you call wanting to know why we weren't already live at 10, but we are live at 11. That's not too bad for us here. Definitely not too bad. Anyway, last month, I featured a new little coin purse, and when I saw it, I just remembered my grandma. My grandma always carried this little tiny coin purse, and just with all her little change. So I featured last month how to make this little tiny, and it's actually called the Simple Sew pouch. And that's what I have here. I have a couple examples that were from last month. And after class, there was quite a few that requested a different size. They wanted it bigger. They wanted all kinds of different options in doing that. So that's what I did. Today I am going to talk about the other options that we have and how to do it and what I did to probably simplify it. And once you make one, they are all pretty much exactly the same technique and the same idea, just some have gussets. The one I'm going to talk about, I did actually a piping. You can do all kinds of different things to make it cool, kind of do a designer look to it. So basically, I think most all the patterns call for fat quarters. So I did a fat quarter of your basic fabric of whatever you want on the outside, and then a companion piece for a lining. And that's what I have used on this one. And this is actually the eyeglass, and it is called Curvy Clutch. And I see it as an eyeglass case, or you can just have it as a makeup case, or whichever and however you want to do it. So that's what I'm going to demo and talk about here in a minute. And then I also chose to do the Hart Clasp purse because it has just a little different type of a clasp. Plus it has little tiny areas that you can add a handle to. So I will talk about that one. And those are the two that I'm going to illustrate on how to create and how to put together. And then another, basically, I talked about the best feature of the whole thing is we have the purse clasp book. And it's, in my book, the best buy to do it because it has tons of patterns of all these different type of purses. There's the one that I'm doing right here, and lots of different ones. There's you can see on the front the different ones that are there. Plus it comes with 2 clasps already in the book. So for I believe it's $19.99, you get a lot of patterns and 2 of the clasps that go together, where these are patterns, single patterns with the clasp. And that one happens to be $14.99, and both of them are $14.99 in doing that. So basically, a couple of the ideas on what you do. This one is the Hart Clasp purse, and it does have a feature where you add piping in it. And so I created the piping from the lining just for a little bit of an accent in doing that. You can either use a cording foot or you can use your zipper foot to add the cording technique in there. And this is super simple. It's actually a gusset. And the eyeglass case also has a gusset, but it's super simple to put in. It has notches marked, so you just kind of put a couple of pins in, do a little bit of clipping, and it flows in. It's designed very, very well and flows in. So this is the outside of the bag. The other notion that you will need is, I believe the eyeglass called for fusible interfacing. I use fusible fleece in both. So fusible fleece works, fusible interfacing, but I like the firmness of the fusible fleece because it does need some body in doing that. And then the Hart Clasp purse actually calls for a canvas, and we didn't have any canvas that looked springy. And so I chose just this cute little pretty spring floral. And so the lining is a cave facet fabric, and I actually interfaced that with a woven interfacing, and I felt like that would give it the extra body that you didn't get using a canvas. So I have just done with a lightweight interfacing. It is a woven fusible, and it's the same technique where you insert the gusset in there. Now all of the patterns tell you to press the seam open, which is not the easiest thing to do. I pressed it over here. The one that does the cording, it will not press open. It will not press open. So I actually just let it go and find the way it's going to want to nest in there and making it work. So I left this, actually I had it put together, and I thought, I can't do that. I need to be able to show you how to do it. So I tore it apart. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn the outside of the clutch, purse, whichever it wanted to do, and I'm going to go ahead and turn, and this one has a pocket accent, so it's actually going to have a little pocket on the inside. So when you get the two units put together, you're going to nest one inside the other, and you are going to stitch all the way around and leave an area upon which to turn it, and you're going to turn it, and then you're going to end up with it all finished like this. This is the eyeglass case, and so all of your edges are totally enclosed. Nothing's going to ravel out in doing that. So then after you get at that point, you are ready to add your clasp. And to add the clasp, it's super, super simple. It calls for a tacky glue, but we carry the unique stitch, and the unique stitch works fantastic. The tacky glue, you almost have to use a toothpick in order to do that, but the unique stitch has a wonderful narrow little applicator, and you're going to put a bead of the, you can't see that, you're going to put a bead of the glue, whether you have tacky or whether you use the unique stitch, and you're going to just let a nice generous bead of glue inside the channel. Inside, there's a little channel inside here, and you want to do one half. Last night I went ahead and did this half, and you don't have to worry about getting any of the glue on the metal, because it will just come right off in doing that. So you definitely want to use a glue that is going to dry clear in case you get some a little bit further out. So then after I get my glue in there, I'm going to use a stiletto. I thought I had my seam ripper out here somewhere, right here in my little pouch. Whichever one you want to do, but you get your bead of glue generous inside the channel, and then you're going to take a seam ripper, a stiletto, whatever works, and you're going to push that inside that channel of that clasp. And it really goes in pretty easy in making it stick. And then you get this paper string, and your pattern comes with the paper string. Here's a picture of it coming with. So you get the paper string with your clasp, and I think in the pattern it tells you to measure it and get it accurate, close, but I haven't done that naturally. So then after you get the fabric stuck in, you're going to take the paper string, and what that basically does is that fills any excess area in there. This is probably one of the hardest parts to do, but when you get that glue in there and you start sticking that cord in and just work it all the way around, use your stiletto and work it in there, and then I just trim it off when it gets to the size in doing that. So that paper string, and it does untwist. If you find that you don't have enough to fill that little channel in there, you can untwist this and it will add a little bit more fullness in there to snug that up nice and neat. So you've got that glue in there and you've got that channel to fill and to keep it nice and secure in doing that. So it works in fine. It works in just great. I don't have any glue in there now. So, and you'll want to do one side and let that sit for 15 to 20 minutes, and then you'll come back and then you'll do the other side in doing it. So there's your little eyeglass, actually called Kirby Clutch. And doing that, wonderful little. The other thing I thought about, we sell a product called, and I was going to bring it in here, called Slicker. And if you wanted to make it into a makeup bag or something with a little bit of a waterproofing, we have Slicker, which is a press-on. You pull the back off, and it actually makes anything into a vinyl. So you could easily make it a wonderful little makeup bag by putting that Slicker on your lining part of it and doing that. The other thing I want to talk about just for a minute is that this bag right here, I don't know if you can see it, it also has little places that you can add a handle in doing that. So you can either leave it just plain clutch like that. Now I also see one in the book that has put handles, that have just sewed handles on the outside and kind of covered those little areas there where it has the places to add but you could use a swivel hook and add a swivel hook onto a handle that you have. I just made this out of cross-grain fabric and doing that and using this swivel hook and then clip that on so you can either have the handle or leave it without a handle and doing that. So anyway, that's about it. What else was I supposed to
There's your little hooks right beside you.
Oh, swivel hook. We do not have it in the antique brass. We'll have to order some of those in. We only have it in the nickel. So that would be something that you could easily add in doing that. So if you wanted to make just kind of a little bag to carry, to pick up and go, or just go ahead and I'm in doing that. So hopefully it has inspired you. And have we had some interaction?
I'll say, do we have any questions? I'll watch here for a little bit if anybody has any questions. We've had lots of people say good morning and hello. And there's even a Miss Ellen on here at the moment.
Miss Ellen. Hi, Ellen. Why are you not at school?
But we'll see if anybody has any questions. And then you can call the store. We have four books.
I think so.
I think we have 4 books available
if you're special.
If you're wanting to have one shipped or drive and come pick it up. We're doing curbside pickups.
And we are essential.
We are essential. We have lots of fabric going out the door for mass. We do not have elastic.
No 1/4-inch elastic, and nobody allowed in the store. So we are keeping the social distancing going, and hopefully you don't have any issues on that. So join us next second Thursday. I don't know the date. It would be the second Thursday at 10 a.m. and we do hope that you will all be here in the shop to join us at that time. Thank you much. Happy Easter.